Hey guys, Lindsay here. Welcome back to my channel. So kind of ignore what's going on up here. I've been like sitting there moving my hair around and taking pictures, so it's gotten extra fluffy. We're gonna do a hair dyeing video today. That is something I've never done on my channel before, and quite frankly, I hadn't intended to do a hair dyeing video because I'm not trying to show you guys how to do something. I'm not by any means a professional by any means. However, the company Madison Reed recently reached out to me and asked if I would want to try out one of their hair dye systems and just do a video on it and just see if I like it. And I said yes, because as you can tell from my roots, I am in desperate need of coloring my hair. And I love box dye. I have been box dyeing my hair since I was in my early teens. I mean, like, I used to love, and you guys have seen kind of with the reddish colors that I go for like the reddish browns often, like the cinnamon berry and things like that. That's usually what I've done, and I still have done professional hair coloring over the years, but I find that my hair, because it's so kind of porous and just the texture of it, it tends to lose color really quickly. So I've always hated spending money at the salon to get my hair dyed, only to have to touch it up way sooner than most people I feel normally have to. Plus right now, with my hair being as short as it is, the roots are so obvious that I want to dye it really frequently, because otherwise it starts looking weird where it's shorter in the back, it's darker, especially right now it's a different color because my natural color is some kind of mousy brown color. So yes, as much as I love my hairdresser, she is amazing, I still prefer to kind of like box dye, especially right now. So when Madison Reed reached out to me, I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to try it. I've never used Madison Reed before, so this is a completely different experience for me. I've always seen ads for it on Facebook, so I think it's really cool, you know, the whole premise of it being sent to your door. I'm not going red today. That is one thing I did decide, and I had already decided I was gonna do this with my hair being as short as it is, and I am kind of wanting to grow it out, so it's gonna get a little shaggy at times. I decided just to go ahead and go back to brown. I'm sure the red will come back eventually in the future, but for now I decided to go brown so that my roots wouldn't be as noticeable. So I am going to unbox this and show you guys everything it comes with. I'm going to insert a couple little clips just of me putting the dye on it. This like isn't going to be a hair dye tutorial, like I said, so I'll just insert a couple of clips so you can see it, and then we will see how it looks after I wash it. I'll probably maybe wait like a day or so, like so that I can style it and everything before I show you guys, but like it'll all be in this video so you won't notice how much time has passed. But I am doing this after work one evening, so I don't know that I'll fully like blow dry my hair and make it look pretty tonight. So yeah, let's go ahead and just look what's in the box. So it comes in this nice little small box. It's about the size of like a BoxyCharm box practically. And then inside it's got some information. Let's see, it does come with a little card that tells you about, it's basically your instructions, and it tells you what comes in the box, safety warnings. It's the typical stuff, you know, test out a strand of hair, you know, if you're touching up versus dyeing. It's the same thing you would see in a regular box dye. It is pretty cool. They have some stuff right here about, I'll put the information in the description box, but they do have an app that you can download that has like how-to videos and timers. That's kind of cool. Not that you can't just set a timer on your iPhone. And they've got tutorials online and tips and stuff on a blog. So, I mean, it's a little bit more in depth than you would get with like a box of Revlon hair dye or something like that. But everything else, the premise and everything is still pretty much the same. And they do give you the bottle. So they tell you you can do it in the bottle like you would have with a box dye. Or if you want to put it in like one of those bowls with a brush, you can do that too. I do have a bowl that I use for like when I do my manic panic hair coloring. But I'll probably just go with the good old bottle method. So this is the bottle. This is the conditioning color activator. So again, looks just like good old box dye bottle. What do we got in here? This is the cream color in here. So this is the little tube. Maybe I'll insert a clip of mixing it together. It's not that complicated. Usually you put this one into the other one and then you shake it up. So it comes with that. Let's see what else we've got. We have a nice little set of gloves. It's cute how everything's like in these little boxes. And then you have a cap to put on while your hair color is processing. What else do we have in here? Lots of little packets of stuff. Okay. Okay, so we have color protecting shampoo. We have color protecting conditioner, barrier cream. So that's nice. Usually I just have a jar of Vaseline and I'll put that around the ears, around the perimeters, especially for like when you're doing red hair dye, but that's cool. It comes with it. And then a cleansing wipe, which is also really cool. I generally just use a cotton pad and some rubbing alcohol if I get color all over me, but it comes in this little box. So that's kind of nice if you're not used to box dyeing and you don't have all the things handy that I kind of already have. This would be really good for you because you have all this stuff in this nice little box for you. So this is ammonia free and it's also cruelty free in case you were curious. Let's see, is there anything else I can tell you about it? I think that's pretty much it. So the color that we decided on is Torino Brown 5NA. The reason we kind of went with that was because even though my roots are a bit lighter, let's see, I'll go ahead and get a little close for you guys. There you go. So hopefully you can see, obviously I've got a good little bit of root. I have some lovely sporadic gray hairs. Thank you for being in my mid-30s. These little guys right here. And then of course I have the red. So they do have a quiz on their website that you can take to help you kind of determine what hair color you want to pick out. And it asks you things like, what's your hair texture? Have you ever dyed it before? What's your current color? What color do you want? So it does kind of give you the option. So like I could have gone the red route if I wanted to keep going with red. And maybe like once my hair finally grows out and it's longer again, I'll go back to doing red. But right now while it's short, I want to go with brown. So I did select brown and it recommended this shade that I picked out, which was Torino Brown. And then I was, like I said, I was speaking with the girl who reached out to me. And so she checked with the colors because she asked me to take the quiz to see what it would recommend for me. So I told her it was the Torino Brown. And then she talked with the colors just to make sure, because I had sent her pictures to show her like what my roots look like and everything. And they agreed that the Torino Brown would probably cover everything just fine because the lighter brown, the red would probably still show through it. So that's really cool that they have the whole quiz that you can take. And then it sounds like you can actually talk with somebody. If you're not sure like which one you should do, you can email them or they might have a live chat. I really don't know. I didn't go full in depth into their website, but I think that's kind of cool that you can kind of like talk to them at least. So that's what we went with, Torino Brown. I don't know how dark this is going to turn out. It might be really dark, which I'm okay with if it is. Like I said, my hair just fades all together really quickly. This was like a much darker reddish brown when I dyed it, and now it's like a very light reddish brown. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover before we get into it. So I am going to change into my junky hair dyeing shirt. Like I said, I'll probably just insert a couple clips of maybe mixing it up and putting it on my hair. It's not going to be a full go through of me doing my hair. It does recommend that you do the roots first and then bring it through. So that's pretty much what most of my boxed hair dyes have told me. But I will do that and I'll kind of just show you guys some of those clips. And then when I come back, I will have my new hair. So yeah, wish me luck. Hello and welcome to my very yellow bathroom, which one day I will paint because I hate it being this yellow. All right, I'm gonna use the barrier cream first and just put that around the perimeters of my face.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Alright, I'm just gonna take the cleansing wipe and get all of the edges. Their cleansing wipe pretty much smells like my cotton round dipped in rubbing alcohol. Maybe with a little bit of soap. Yep, it's definitely rubbing alcohol though. Ooh. That is one thing I didn't mention, and I guess I can go ahead and mention it now since I'm talking to you guys. But the smell of the hair dye is actually really nice. You know, sometimes if you've ever box dyed before, it can be kind of harsh or kind of gross smelling. But yeah, this is actually pretty nice smelling. This is probably the worst part of it, is just that strong alcohol smell. I think we are all cleaned up. Let me get the little cap that came with it. It says put the cap on and leave the color for 35 minutes. If covering up grays, leave an additional 10 minutes. So I'll probably go 40 minutes because I don't know. I don't have that many grays. All right, see you in 40 minutes. Okay, so I've just finished washing the color out. I did the shampoo and condition that it talks about, and then I blow dried it straight. I haven't flat ironed it yet because usually when I blow dry my hair the night before, I wait till the morning to flat iron it just so it doesn't get too flat. But you can see, I feel like you can see the color that it turned out. And then of course I'll show you guys the finished result when I wrap up the video. I'm probably gonna film a look tomorrow night, and so I'll kind of, after I do my makeup, I'll do the kind of closing for this so that you can see it under the studio lights. But since I showed you the before under this lighting, I figured it's probably good to show you the after. I think you can see there's maybe a little hint of red peeking through, not much. It's probably enough that would just maybe show up in the sunlight. Like when I just look in the mirror right now, it just looks dark brown to me. I'm actually really happy with the color. It looks nice and shiny. It's very pretty. So yeah, let's go ahead and just skip to the tidied up flat iron version under the studio lights. All right guys, so it's the next day now. Like I mentioned, I was gonna go ahead and wait till after I got my hair cut, which I did. I pretty much just had her kind of like clean up, tidy up the back area. I am trying to grow my hair out, but I want it to look cute while that's happening. So mostly I'm focusing on getting this into more of like a bob, an A-line bob. So I don't mind continuing to kind of stack up the back while the front grows. I feel like it's kind of like at a pixie bob level, long pixie. So yeah, my back's getting a little bit messed up because I was out in the heat and it's very, very hot in Houston right now. But yes, so overall hair color, I did want you guys to be able to see what the color looks like under the studio lights, because obviously you guys see me mostly under the studio lights. I do feel like it covered the red really nicely. There's a little bit of like warmth to the brown that you can see mostly, I feel like, in the sunlight. With the light shining directly down on my head, I feel like I see a little bit of differentiation from the roots, but not as much. Like the roots were a lot bigger than that. So I feel like it did a pretty good job for covering red, just as good as any other like box dye would do. I think you'd have to go to a salon to get anything blended any better than that. But yeah, as a whole, I'm very, very happy with the Madison Reed product. The system was really nice. It was very nice and convenient having it all in this one little box, gloves and the barrier cream and the cap and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm personally curious about is if it's going to fade overall, because my hair just doesn't seem to hold color well. That's just my hair. It's how it's always been. It's been that way with salon dyes. It's been that way with box dyes. I feel like it stays better when it's the salon style, but I know like definitely for box dyes, it'll be like nice, pretty vibrant red, and then it'll be like this, what you saw at the end, this like really dull kind of faded red. So I'm very curious to see how this will hold up. Obviously I'm not going to wait a month to post this video. You guys will see in about a month or so what my hair looks like on camera, but if I do remember, I'll try to come back and pin a comment that just says like how it held up. If it just roots grew out or if the whole thing faded. I wouldn't necessarily fault the system for that if the whole thing faded, but it would be really, really awesome if I found something where it didn't fade. That would be my biggest thing. I did go onto their website just so I could get prices for you guys, because since it was sent to me, I don't know what the prices are. So they do have other options other than just the permanent hair color. So if you're into other, I've got like a hair somewhere. So if you're looking for something else, I think they had highlights. I think they might have had semi-permanent too. But what I got was the permanent hair color system, and that cost $22. I don't know if that includes shipping though. If I again find that out, I will make a note about that down below as well. I need to do a little bit more research, so sorry about that. But yeah, so $22, it's definitely more expensive than a typical box dye from the drugstore. I feel like box dyes are usually around the $10 mark, sometimes a little bit more expensive depending on what kind of system you're buying and what kind of brand you're buying it from. But you're just strictly getting the box dye and the conditioner. So you're getting a little bit of extras here with things like the gloves and stuff. I don't know that that necessarily makes it worth it. I personally think that the smell makes up for it. The fact that this system smelled really nice, or at least just so subtle and not a nasty bad smell like so many of the other ones do. So it was kind of actually, you know, fine just to be sitting there in my bathroom. It wasn't like I needed to open the door and it was horrible smell. So I do like the fact that it didn't have a horrible smell. Very easy to apply, but it's pretty much the same as any kind of box dye to apply with like the little tube applicator. So I mean, that's not really anything different. But I do really like the color overall. I think it's a very beautiful color. I also think just the whole questionnaire aspect beforehand is really nice and helpful. I mean, it asked, I don't know how much detail I went into in the beginning, but it asked everything from like what your hair texture is like, how many grays, like what kind of grays you have, if your grays are easy to cover, if your color is treated, if your hair is color treated, and what color it currently is, what color is your original hair color, what color do you want to be. Obviously they recommend doing more subtle changes. It's going to be a lot harder if you want to go lighter, if you don't go to a salon. I mean, they do sell a highlighting system, but I don't know that I would recommend that unless you are experienced in doing that at home. I don't feel comfortable doing that at home. I've pretty much just done like browns and reds. That's pretty much my comfort zone with home hair dye. But they had a lot of really beautiful colors. They did have a really beautiful reddish brown. So if I ever choose to kind of go back that route, I might use their system for the reddish brown. I think I'm going to stick with this really pretty brown color for now, the Torino Brown. I do really like it. And I think it looks good with this cut. It's just like a nice, it helps everything blend. I think it'll look good as my roots grow in. And then maybe like in a month or so, I will dye it again. I think I usually go about 5 to 6 weeks between dyeing it. I usually try to push it with my roots because I don't care that much, but it is really nice that I can just order it and have it delivered to the house. So that's convenient. So yes, overall, I'm really happy to get to kind of try a new brand out. I really do like Madison Reed, so very happy with this experience. What can I say? I don't have anything negative to say about it, really. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's definitely something different for my channel. If you want to see more hair videos, let me know. And I don't have much, so it's not like I can show you really different styles. I really don't do much different with my hair, but if you want to see like hair video, I can maybe just do like a general hair video where I kind of talk about the hair products that I like to use for like my cut and my hair type. I don't know if you'd want to watch me style it because like I said, literally all I do is either blow dry it straight and like fix it with a flat iron, or I'm twisting it back, or I'm drying it curly, which is mostly just using the diffuser and then fixing a couple of pieces. But if that interests you, if you have similar hair type, style, whatever to me, and you want to see something like that, let me know. If you'd rather it just be like a generic, like what kind of hair products I use, that's cool. But I did, with this video, I did figure out a good setup for how to film in my bathroom. So if there's a bathroom type of video, whether it's hair care or like a skincare, it would be much easier for me to film now that I've figured that out. So you guys let me know what you want to see. Otherwise, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'll have all the information for the Madison Reed system linked down below. And again, big thank you to Madison Reed for even reaching out because that was really awesome and I like my new hair color. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.